you're my soul and you got me on hold, but you're the only one that keeps me sane. And I'm trying to stay lower than low, but you keep me at an all-time high. You could glow in the dark, or you're owning a spark, and I'm just hoping I can be that flame. Knock me down, but I'm never letting go of your hand. Let's make another round toast for you, man. Baby, stay a while and keep your toes in the sand. Ease it up, baby, get a hold on romance. Hey, said I'm not stop the loving, stop, drop and roll. It's getting hot like an oven. Rocks, clothes and necklaces you got like it's nothing. Said hey, must be the honey, yeah. Hey, said I'm not stop the loving, stop, drop and roll. It's getting hot like an oven. Rocks, clothes and necklaces you got like it's nothing. Said hey, must be the honey. When you're alone, you know to dial it up, unless you really ain't about that life. Cause I'm just feeling, yes, I'm right how I'm feeling, on a mission to be in your life. Well, girl, you just might not stop calling me, it's alright. Honestly, be all night, girl, it's gonna be all night. Talk with me, mommy, I mean, I'm hottie for shawty, getting the shawty. Tommy be rocking all of these hardest hearts for artistry. Let me talk to your inner heart is where I'ma get her. Not when I'm with a get up, I'm all in when you consider. Don't hesitate, just approach it with hope and faith, and we'll take this journey. Be Bonnie and your boy will take over, babe. Hey, said I'm not stop the loving, stop, drop and roll. It's getting hot like an oven. Rocks, clothes and necklaces you got like it's nothing. Said hey, must be the honey, yeah. Hey, said I'm not stop the loving, stop, drop and roll. It's getting hot like an oven. Rocks, clothes and necklaces you got like it's nothing. Said hey, must be the honey,
I got soul for somebody like you. You're beaming so gracious, so let me sing a song to you. It goes like 1 stop, 2 stop, 3 then 4. My sugar, honey, iced tea, can I get you to go? Fast as a Harley, speeding, mama's in town. We going up with the sun, except I never come down. I can make a whole damn show, but let me tell you better than I know. You so smooth, I could lick you, sweeter than a swisher. Punch me like a berry, but I think I wanna kiss you. I know you're not the type of girl to play around, but let me tell you straight that I'll be holding it down. Yeah.
hey, said I'm not stop the loving, stop, drop and roll. It's getting hot like an oven. Rocks, clothes and necklaces you got like it's nothing. Said hey, must be the honey, yeah. Hey, said I'm not stop the loving, stop, drop and roll. It's getting hot like an oven. Rocks, clothes and necklaces you got like it's nothing. Said hey, must be the honey, yeah. Girl, I went out on a limb, I was lost, I admit, but I went ahead and gave you my hot name. You're my rock, you're my soul, and you got me on hold, but you're the only one that keeps me sane. And I'm trying to stay lower than low, but you keep me at an all-time high. You could glow in the dark, or you're owning a spark, and I'm just hoping I can be that flame. Knock me down, but I'm never letting go of your hand. Let's make another round toast for you, man. Baby, stay a while and keep your toes in the sand. Ease it up, baby, get a hold on romance. Hey, said I'm not stop the loving, stop, drop and roll. It's getting hot like an oven. Rocks, clothes and necklaces you got like it's nothing. Said hey, must be the honey, yeah. Hey, said I'm not stop the loving, stop, drop and roll. It's getting hot like an oven. Rocks, clothes and necklaces you got like it's nothing. Said hey, must be the honey. When you're alone, you know to dial it up, unless you really ain't about that life.
Oh, what
Yo,
up? What up?
happy TTE
Yo,
Tuesday.
let's go.
I'm Soy. That's Vita. Y'all know the deal, man.
Here.
TTEspn. We got a little bit to cover today. Not a lot, just a little bit. We're gonna make it enough. First things first, man. What's happening?
Oh man, everything's good. Everything's good. ready to get glad we're through Christmas. Now it's New Year's time. So get y'all resolutions together and all that jazz so we can get committed to meeting goals and challenging ourselves, man. So ready for that. Ooh,
What happened?
oh no, stretching out. I'm ready.
Hey, yo, check out my shirt.
I see.
Got the bloodline on there. You know what I'm saying? I've been back into the WWE heavy lately. You know what I'm saying? We the ones. You the twos. We the ones. But yeah, man, same old same. Same old same. Jim kind of ready to wrap the year up. Not like next year gonna be anything different. I don't think. It's just like I feel like this is just one of those checkpoints for me, anyways. It's like a checkpoint. Cool. Last year's done. Checkpoint. Here's a new one.
Yeah,
So.
definitely. That same place I'm at. I'm looking at taking just like a personal adjustment to my workouts for a time being. Kind of getting to the same routine. Trying to find ways to challenge myself, do something different. To force my like body and mental to get out of kind of this zone I'm in. So I'm definitely looking at just being more intentional and making first things first, like cardio, core stuff, and maybe even trying to take up yoga classes or do something that I haven't done before to test myself out, push the limits here.
That's what's up, bro. I was thinking about taking Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I got some people around who've done some of that stuff, or I see do some of that stuff, and I'm like, I know the training for that got to be crazy.
Right. I feel like that would be dope.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, get it started. Before we even get into the week 16 review, I got a little start bench cut.
Okay.
Bam. Just off of running ability. Start bench cut graphic on the screen for those of y'all watching. Lamar Jackson, Michael Vick, and Cameron Newton. Lamar, Mike Vick, Cam Newton. Start bench cut just based on their running ability. We ain't even talking about arm talent whatsoever. Running ability.
Let me see. So I know for a fact I'm starting Cam.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I'm starting Cam. Because he's the only one that can run through the middle and take punishment. So I'm starting Cam. It's Vic and Lamar that's the hard one.
Because they basically the same person, right?
But now I don't think like they're the same person.
It's crazy because I'm starting Lamar.
I think I would bench Lamar though.
I'm starting Lamar, benching Vic, and cutting Cam. Just because when I look at it, I want the shifty quarterbacks that ain't gonna take no hits. Like, yeah, cool, Cam. Don't get me wrong, Cam is like, it's not an easy cut either. Like the fact that I can run him up the middle is why I want to cut him. Because I will run him up the middle.
Yeah. Nah, I gotta cut Vic. Then I gotta bench Lamar off of that.
I'm also biased. Michael Vick's my favorite player.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's today's start bench cut. Start bench cut. Lamar Jackson, Michael Vick, Cam Newton. We just going with Cam, Lamar on the bench. Vick is cutting. I'm gonna go with it just in that order that it's showing. Lamar, Michael Vick, Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Cool, man. You ready to get into a week 16 review?
Yep.
Let's do it. First game on Thursday was the Jags and the Jets.
But yeah, that was a crazy one.
I think we both picked the Jags last week, right?
Yeah, we picked the Jags. We both took the Jags. Evan Ingram, that we see, but Doug P in this game could do a lot of work with Evan Ingram. I was hoping the Jags could have maybe got off on the Jets a little more.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I was kind of hoping because I knew there would be a window with the quarterback play on the other side of the ball. But yeah, they're just defenses. They're there and they're ready to go, man. So it's just all that stuff on the offensive side of the ball for the Jets that they really need to figure out. But yeah, man, this is a team that you said ever since they took that Denver loss to Jags, you could tell every week they're learning their lessons and they're getting better. And the playbook's starting to open up. Uh, so yeah, I'm very impressed with Evan Ingram this game.
Mm-hmm.
I know people are trying, during the whole thing, they were like, "Yeah, he took a 1 year prove-it deal on himself." But this is one of them occasions where he goes sign somewhere else for more money, and it just goes right back to who he was.
Mm-hmm.
So I think his best bet will be just trying to take something and staying where he's at. So
I think players play better when they have that security, when they don't have to feel like, man, I got to go above and beyond
yeah,
to quote unquote earn this contract and justify somebody to pay me that much.
yeah. So
But
yeah, this was like, again, I was kind of hoping the Jags. I wanted to see the Jags kind of unleash this game a little bit, but man, outside of that, man, I know it was a little rainy too, so a lot of what I saw from Ingram was more shorter stuff in the beginning. But yeah, man, the Jets will have to, and it happens, man. You took a quarterback at 2, and bro just keeps getting benched every time you put him on the field. And
crazy.
even the plays where you're like, well, this is the part of the reason they drafted you was because you should be able to make this throw, and he can't even make it,
Yeah.
or it's super inaccurate. So it's just like, look, man, they took a lump with that. That's they're doing too much, and they're just gonna have to figure out what they're gonna do because this roster is ready to get into the playoffs and how they're coaching, and bro really just held them back this year.
I feel like Robert Saleh with that sub to bring in Chris Streveler basically
Yeah,
said, bruh, we ain't going to the playoffs. We're okay with that. We saw our potential based on everything outside of the quarterback position.
yeah,
We're gonna figure it out, man. We're gonna figure it out going into next year. Starting running back, hurt, gone for the year, 5 or 6
yeah.
games ago. Brought
And
in
I know
a bunch of
yeah,
different quarterbacks. So
yeah, and a lot of people were just, well, he
running
doesn't
back,
have
excuse
Brees
me.
Hall. He doesn't have Brees Hall. This team's missing Brees Hall, and Brees Hall was on a crazy pace to start the year. But you get those seasons from your running backs, and Brees Hall's a beast. But it's like this is the point where the guy who you invested this capital into was supposed to lift the team, and he got, they took the training wheels off, and bro's just not doing it. So I really don't know what's gonna happen with him after this. I don't think we'll see how the NFL views him. We'll see how the NFL views him when it comes to the offseason. If somebody's willing to take him on and give him another shot. So
Cool. Next game we had, first of the Saturday games is the Bills and the Bears.
man, I saw this game for the longest at halftime. They like Chicago was dang near up. I was like, God, what are they doing? Then Buffalo just came out and was piecing up. I'm like, golly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chicago puts themselves in fights with teams, man. Couple pieces away, another year under the system, man, and they could be a real surprise, potentially a surprise team next year with the right off-season moves.
Yeah. I think they need to strengthen that old line for sure. And then
Yeah,
give him some real targets, man. This is starting to turn into a Lamar Jackson situation where
yeah,
we got 2 pretty solid running backs in David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert. We got a young guy. We got a vet. And then we ain't got nothing on the outside.
yeah.
Like
And this is
nothing.
they knew that coming into the year, and they just like again when the GM took over, bro had no money to do nothing, which was weird to me because he passed up on some receivers in the draft that I was like, you could have took a George Pickens in the later rounds because he was there and available. And I was kind of like, why didn't they kind of take a shot at one of those guys in the later rounds? And they didn't. So we'll see what they do. I agree with you. They need to invest more into him. But unlike the Jets, both of them went into this year with like, well, let's see if the guy that we got is a franchise guy. They know Justin Fields could be that guy. So now it's like they do have to invest into him.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo is gonna have to start to say they've been on this like 2 month teetering phase, man. They're gonna have to clean it up because that switch just can't. It's a dangerous game if you keep playing, waiting for that flip to switch, man. you'll catch yourself lacking behind.
Man,
So
I said this a few weeks back, man. Josh Allen, I just don't trust him. Like I think everything, all the decisions and the turnovers that he's had over the last 3-4 weeks, he's
yeah,
almost put himself out of the MVP race. Now you're looking at like Mahomes, maybe Hurts. It's gonna be weird with him not being out, not playing last week, and then maybe
yeah.
Tyreek.
I think Miami's taking too many. I think they had to be a 10-11 win team for the Tyreek to even have a possibility.
It's almost a 2-man
But
race right now, and Mahomes looking like he gonna win it again.
yeah, I mean, I don't. That's a whole nother argument in itself that I'm having issues with in some of those who are presenting it. Because I don't agree with the way that they evaluate it because it changes every year, and I don't think it should change at all.
Right. Cool.
Buffalo, yeah, Buffalo's locked up. They do have. It's not this week, but they end the season playing the Bengals. So we'll get through this week and we'll see how it goes to see how important that singular game might be to seeding. It might not
They
mean
have the
nothing.
bye right now, right?
Yeah, right now they have the bye. They might get to that week and everything be locked up, and Buffalo will sit everybody and let the Bengals win and let them steal home field from the Chiefs, the second seed. So we'll see how that works. But I think depending on what Buffalo does could have a lot of implications on what's going to happen in the final week when they match up.
Craig said her too. Ain't y'all holding on to a wild card spot?
What up, Greg?
Holding.
What up?
Next game, man, we had the Saints and the Browns. Very, very underwhelming game. Not really a lot of implications on this game. This was kind of just a
No,
game to
no,
see what they
no.
have going into next year.
It was, man, and we both picked the Saints to win. We said that the Browns just look extremely underwhelming. We both picked the Saints to win. The Saints won,
That's fine.
and yeah, man, and the Browns are just I don't know, man. I mean, were they pretty much a week after Deshaun got there, y'all got eliminated from the playoffs, so y'all just playing on house money, getting free practices in. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you're just trying to keep stuff off of film or what, or maybe you're really, really trying and it's just not working. You know what I'm saying? I really hope that you're just trying to give him game reps and hide what you got in the tuck because Stefanski can call some plays, bro. So I'm hoping that they're just like, look, we want reps. So everybody just get up out of here. We ain't going to the playoffs. We in for next year. So
15 for 31, 135, one interception. Deshaun Watson just looks like a shell of himself, bro. Like
yeah,
it ain't there. The snap ain't there. Being able to scramble,
nah,
being able to get out the pocket, create, extend plays, it just ain't there. And Amari
nah.
Cooper got to be one of the most underwhelming receivers in the NFL right now.
I think bro's tired, man. I just think bro's tired. I just think bro's tired and just play like he just looks like a guy who just kind of played out on it. Like he looks like a guy who knew the situation he came into, and he's a guy that I get the impression of as he wants to play to win. And by the time Deshaun got there, that was already over with. So I think he's just like reeled it in. There's like no real motivation for him right now.
Yeah. Cool. Seahawks Chiefs. This was almost for the Seahawks to stay in the playoff race. Chiefs
Yeah, it
came out
was.
on top
It
early.
was, man. Yeah, Seahawks struggled. I was trying to watch this game at the same time as I was watching the Carolina game, but keeping eyes on both. But yeah, man, the Seahawks just seem to have a real tough time in the beginning to get any offense going, man.
Yeah.
That's what every time I was like going off my phone looking up, I was like, damn, Gino getting sacked. I think he threw like a pick in the red zone that ended up like getting called back. Like it just seemed like they had a tough time getting anything going.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the biggest things I'm noticing with the Seahawks is early in the season they was getting the ball out of Gino's hands quick. They was establishing the run game. They were able to get ahead on teams so they could actually run the ball more. As soon as they start playing from behind, man, that O-line is starting to show everything that was an issue with them over the last 3 years. It's
yeah,
like we can't block longer than 2.5, 3 seconds, bro. Like
yeah.
get the ball out, run the ball, or we're not gonna do nothing. We're not a team that's built to come from behind.
Yeah. Yeah. And they've been again, like you're right.
Listen,
They've had a way that they had to play to win. They did a great job with that. But it's just like you said, with that,
listen.
it's also just kind of like a clear indicator of what they need to go into next offseason with to get right for themselves.
Yeah. Seems
just
like
a
they've been trying
case
to
of,
build that old line for like 4 years now.
well, you said, they drafted Charles Cross this year. Abraham Lucas, who's been their tackles. I know Lucas got hurt, I think, somewhere along the lines. So they said a lot of their main players this year is actually rookies who they drafted. So there's a lot to look forward to going up for them into next year. It's just, do they pay Geno something to keep him around? Because they'll be right now they're sitting with the number 3 pick, so it's not like they can't pull in a replacement.
Travis Kelce doing Travis Kelce things. Jerick McKinnon, who seems like when he ends up being like the number 3 running back on the roster, and then he just continues to have a breakout game with his few snaps that he plays.
Yeah, he
And I mean,
does.
3 receptions, 31 yards, 1 touchdown is by no means a breakout, but when you can impact the game similar to a Tony Pollard can
Yeah,
in a passing game, especially
yeah.
for an Andy Reid offense,
And that's
gonna be
his role
problems.
there. That's his role. That's his role, and they use him for that. I think Alaire's still hurt, I believe. So we'll see what happens when he comes back. But they run it with Pacheco, and they put that man out there to let him go take care of mismatches if they can find one. And so
Chiefs.
I think we'll see. I still don't like how the Chiefs defense is trending going into the playoffs. I feel like they're usually a little more buttoned up than what they are right now.
Yeah.
So
They can't get consistent pressure on the quarterback without sending an extra guy, is what I've noticed
yeah,
too.
yeah. That's like with Spags though. That's why he's always drawing up blitzes.
Vikings Giants. This game was an interesting game.
Yeah, boy, the Vikings, they just love to play that line, man.
Man,
They love to play that line. 61-yard field goal to win the game.
KC and Vikes D is
uh,
trash. Facts.
yeah, the Vikings is just, they love to play this line, and it's a line that I just like. I understand. Like, if you told me a team went 11-0 in one possession games, but last year they lost them all, it would almost be like, oh yeah, this should be a team of destiny that like we should be acknowledging more. But nobody wants to believe like this with the Vikings, bro.
Don't
Nobody
nobody
wants to
believe
believe
this
it.
team.
Yeah, nobody wants to believe it.
When you need 13 and 109 and then 12 133 from Justin Jefferson and Hawkinson just to win the game by 3, I don't know, doc. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, they're the it could be a very thin line between how Kevin O'Connell got treated if these games turned out the other way.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I think the Vikings are a quick personification of what people be like, oh, go get you an offensive mind and just run it up on offense and then, worry about the defense later. And I think when people ask that for a head coach coming in, like whatever head coach goes to Denver, they're going to ask for these type of numbers to be put up because they're going to want an offensive mind that just can help that side of the ball and forget the rest.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Vikes not
I mean,
getting past the first round. Facts. I don't care who they play.
I think right now their matchup is the Giants.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think they'll
last
make
week
it.
it was.
We'll take a look at it after we go through this week.
Yeah.
But they just can't get the running game down consistently, and that's gonna
No,
continue to bite them in the butt. Like
it
time
is.
of
It
possession is
is.
everything in the playoffs.
It is. Big ups to Daniel Jones, man. I seen a tweet go out, and it was like everything you would have said, yo, if we wanted to extend Daniel Jones, he has to do this year. Play efficient, take care of the ball, don't have bad games that lose it. And he's done that. He's done exactly that throughout the course of this year. So Daniel Jones is shown to be a serviceable quarterback throughout the course of this year, man. So bro's really taking care of the ball at a better rate this year.
Yep,
Yeah, not doing nothing spectacular. Just really taking care of the ball. I think bro's been using his legs more this year too.
doing good
So
with nothing.
you-
Facts.
yeah. So Brian, I told you, Brian Dayball took a pack of noodles and made, a top ramen and made the best possible meal you could make out of that, man.
Gave you a
I,
5-star meal.
yeah, he gave you a 5-star. Like the way he treated Daniel Jones, I really wish the Anthony Richardson kid could get to Dayball, because I'm like, that could be crazy.
Giants Vikings right now are matched up in the playoffs. If it was to end today, good thing we got 2 more weeks to kind of carve that out, see what the playoffs will look like. Bengals Patriots. This was an ugly game. Like,
Who
it seemed.
AR-15 in Washington? I keep hearing that. I keep hearing that.
Who's that?
Anthony Richardson, Florida quarterback.
Oh, oh,
AR-15 in Washington will be crazy, bro. That'll be
oh.
crazy. That'll be crazy, man. I'm telling you.
Damn. And
That's
Heineke
that.
as a backup.
Yeah, we'll get there, but like when people talk about Will Levis and his upside, I'm like, I said if that's your selling point for his upside, then you gotta like Anthony Richardson better. Stronger arm, stronger dude, can take the contact faster. Like bro does everything that you try to sell people on
Real
Will
good at
Levis.
scrambling, keeping his
Yeah.
eyes downfield.
Yeah, so bro's just not like, he's just better at him at the stuff they try to sell you at. So I would definitely take him.
I feel like the
Burrow.
Bengals were trying to lose this game. They were trying to lose this game.
52 passes. 52 passes. Again, I wasn't able to see, but I'm just looking at 73 total rushing yards. You know we got a number. And when you start to reach high 40s, 50 passing attempts, that's not a place that you want to be at. It's not a place you want to be at 2 games before you go to the playoffs either, man. We saw Giants game, Daniel Jones had 42 passes. Effectively running the football means a lot at this time of the year, man.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, we're starting to see a lot of teams try to move away from that.
The time of
So
possession is everything, man. They scoreless in the second half. They gave up 18 points, 6 in the third, and then 12 in the fourth quarter.
Yep. Mac Jones, Mr. You're Not My Dad. Bro's dirty. Bro, like they put a clip of him being dirty out of all the things he's done over the last 2 years, just being dirty. So like hopefully people start to treat him differently. I don't know if you saw they had a pick something, and he just instantly stopped and tried to chop like a Bengals ankle or knee or something when the play was clearly over. So it's
Oh man.
yeah, Mac Jones is, somebody's gonna take a flag willingly on a Mac hit here soon.
They're gonna light his ass up.
Somebody's gonna take one here for the people. T. Higgins, man, 8 for 128, 1 TD. It was funny because I just saw the Draft Network do a trade proposal of the Cincinnati Bengals sending T. Higgins to Chicago to move up to number 2 with some other stuff.
Oh, you give T. Higgins to Justin Fields?
Yeah, and it was T. Higgins. It was T. Higgins since he's first, a second and a third for the net for 2024 for T. Higgins in that second pick. With the second pick, the Bengals took Will Anderson. And right now it's kind of like, yeah, people are just all up there complaining. Why would they trade T? Why would they trade T? And I'm like, the reason why you could potentially get T. Higgins is the reason why, Philly was able to get AJ Brown. You might not be able to pay him, or you don't want to pay him.
Yeah,
and I was
still
like,
got Tyler Boyd sitting over there.
And that's what I tell people. He's like, oh, well, what about they could take Tyler Boyd? If you asking for a receiver from the Bengals, Boyd is the last one you asking for. If you want Higgins or you want Jamar. T. Higgins has to get pick. T. Higgins has to get paid this offseason. Joe Burrow has to have his option picked up, and Jamar's going to have his option picked up the year after that. It's almost not enough money to go around unless you just going to front load that side of the ball, which you can. But are you really going to pay a T. Higgins $25 million just to 2 years later give Jamar
33,
32, 33? Because Jefferson's going to reset it, and then Jamar's going to get very close to it.
Yeah. If not past it.
If not past it. So you're going to have to give Higgins 25, 26 just to turn around and give, 33 to Jamar. So I felt like the trade, I mean, again, if they want to keep him, cool, but I feel like it was a worthwhile trade because it's like, yo, we can't pay, bro. And
especially
we might as well
get Will Anderson.
Yeah, like we can't pay, bro. And we just kind of I'd rather do that. So
maybe all them signed to trade him.
I do think T. Higgins might be one of the names that somebody could steal this offseason because he got to get paid.
End up over in Chicago. That'd be a great move. And Chicago will take the Bengals pick in the first round.
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, the Bengals are exceeding what we said. We said 5-win cap the beginning of the year. They're 7-8 right now. But I
Yeah,
think they're
Patriots.
starting.
Patriots.
Sorry, the Patriots. I think they're starting to level out, man. We're starting to see everything that we
Yeah,
expected to see earlier, and I think that
yeah.
all has to do with Bill's coaching early in the season. Gave them all those early wins, close wins, but now you got Mac, Mister, You're Not My Dad, just looking at it like, look, bro,
Man,
you got a defensive coordinator as the offensive, or a defensive minded guy as the offensive coordinator.
they got 2 dubs off of Zach Wilson. Both Jets games with Zach Wilson. So I hold that
So
with
they should be
partially a grain of
5.
salt. Yeah, so I hold part of that with a grain of salt. I hold part of hey, they beat it. They got over it. But I hold part of that with a grain of salt.
Bears a great
Because still,
place.
so yeah, I hope part of that, I just hold back a little bit. But yeah, this again, man, even with us talking stuff on them being a 5-win team and up to them being a 7 now, this shows how good of a coach Bill is. But
Yeah.
bros, I think bro's got to go to a bar with some young guys or something and stop trying to bring in the old guys that he's used to working with, man. I think he's got to try to change it up. Let some other people start to pick out the roster or something just to kind of help him get a fresh view.
That's true.
So
All right, man. Afternoon game. Was this an afternoon game? I think it was an afternoon game on Saturday.
yeah, we had a 12
Lions,
o'clock.
Lions, Panthers.
Man,
This your game, man. This is your game. Panthers
yeah.
came out on top, 37-23.
First game of the year where Carolina scored on the opening drive, whether a field goal or touchdown. First game of the year. It was crazy. He started Chuba Hubbard to start the game. Chuba first play, like a 20-yard run. Next play, like another 20-yard run. They was just gashing, got a touchdown out of it. Lions came right back, got a touchdown. Carolina got a 3 and out, something like that. They got off the ball, whatever. And Detroit was moving. The game got saved when the Lions got down to like the 5-yard line and fumbled.
Mm-hmm.
They was moving. They was moving the ball. We got saved when Jared Goff had a fumble snap and YGM jumped on it. And after that, they just took over. Run
Momentum
game,
was gone.
score, run. Yeah. There was a window where the Lions really could have went up, and I was sure they was going to score a touchdown. After that, said just broke the rushing record for a half, rushing record for a game. 4 games in a row, Sam doesn't throw a turnover. I told you, as long as Sam doesn't have a turnover, I will never complain about that man's performance.
I think
So
that's what we talked about as the keys last week. Is whoever turns the ball over first is going to lose. And as soon
turn
as
it
you
over
fumble the
first.
ball, it was pretty much over.
It was over. Sam's. So there was one in the 2 drives that I was the most happy for was the opening drive, finally being able to come out, score. Got punched in the mouth last week by the Steelers. You came back out, did your thing, scored. Then at halftime, they started to send their slot from the weak side of the field in on run plays. We was running 2 receivers. They put DJ Moore in the slot. Every time that slot came, Sam would just dump it off to DJ. It was just 3 quick ones, and then they stopped. They're like, oh, hell no, they got a counter for this now. And I was just like, even though it's a simple counter, McAdoo didn't do it all year. And the fact that he was like, nah, we got a simple counter, get the ball to DJ, get 4 or 5 yards, and call it a day.
Yep.
So that was it, man. Again, I'm at the point with this team that like I could trust Wilkes to make sure our quarterback is cool, but as long as we're playing this type of football, we can control the run game, time of possessions, and Sam isn't turning over the ball, I'm cool. But yeah, the Lions, man, they can throw that ball. I don't know how they be scheming people wide open, man. I don't know how they be scheming people wide open, but they be scheming people wide open, bro. Whoever is they passing game coordinator, yeah. Whoever is they passing game coordinator, bro, is one cold dude because dudes just be staying open no matter what, man. Is Sam gonna stay? I actually do think Sam's gonna stay.
Yeah.
I really do. Because the only person who's on the roster into next year is Matt Corral. And I don't think you want to go Matt Corral, a rookie you draft, and another person. Sam literally sat there all year being hurt, watched everything out, and then when he came out, played clean football, and that's all we've been asking for from last year. So I think Sam is going to stay. I actually think bro is just cool with being around. He's a real low maintenance dude.
Yeah.
So
he's not a diva quarterback. Like,
nah, he's not, bro. He's literally just like he's such a loser, bro. He's such a loser, bro. He really is. So he's just a chill dude. Like, if we could win out and get into the playoffs, I think Sam will stay. Sam will keep the job going into next year to hold some level of consistency for what they do. But 4 games in a row not turning over the ball, man, that's all I can ask for from Sam. After that, I'm asking coaching to do everything else.
You said I think they can win that division. Absolutely. Totally winnable.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get into this a little bit more, but you're playing Tampa next week, right?
Yep, we got Tampa. So
we'll get into that here in a minute. Next game we got is the Falcons and the Ravens. Ravens pulled it out purely on their defense, man.
Purely on their defense.
Purely on their defense.
Didn't like Desmond Ritter at all. But it's his first performance, right? Like give bro some time. I'm really trying to understand why the people aren't pushing Atlanta to be in the quarterback market, or why people aren't thinking that Atlanta would take a quarterback, because it was also Atlanta who took Kyle Pitts over every other name that we could talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Pitts just wasn't worth 4. He just wasn't worth 4, y'all. Trust me, he just wasn't worth 4. So
that's our bust.
Yeah,
we've been saying that for 2 years now.
Yeah, he just wasn't worth 4, bro. So we'll see what Atlanta does, man, because they played a lot of games early in the year where they were close. Arthur Smith might be losing part of this locker room.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think he's going to get another year no matter what. But
as soon as Mariota got benched, this fool did. Like they said, they ain't heard from Mariota at all.
They ain't heard from him. So I don't know if that's uncharacteristic of him. I don't know if that's uncharacteristic of coaching, because I've never heard Arthur Smith have player issues, but I've never heard Marcus doing this either. So right. I don't know. Like, I don't know who that leans on. Like, I really don't. Big ups to Tyler Huntley. All bro do every time he comes in and starts is just hold down the fort and make sure that they do what they need to do. And fortunate enough, they clinched the playoff spot, but I do think they're going to have to settle for a wild card spot. I think the Bengals got that locked up.
Yeah.
So I do think we won't see Lamar no more in the regular season.
I hope we see him next week, man, because fantasy purposes, this is a championship round. My other quarterback is I got Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence, but he's playing against the Texans, so I might be okay.
Oh yeah,
might be okay.
I don't know. Texas might get 7 picks. How they be just doing random stuff, man. You don't know what them fools, man.
Get up 25 points just to be like, okay, you could throw 5 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. You can have it now. We just wanted to show what we could do. So
Lamar been trash in fantasy. True, but this league he been getting me points purely off his legs. I don't care about his arm.
Yeah. So I like that. We'll see how Baltimore looks and who they will match up with, because I think they're gonna have to be on the road. Like I said, I think since he's got that locked up. So
cool. Started hot. Yeah, he did start hot. Texans and the Titans, another one of those games that don't really mean much. We said that the Texans or the Titans wouldn't make it into the playoffs. Texans just exposed the hell out of Malik Willis, as it seems like every team does. Plus, I think when Derrick Henry went from for 250 earlier in the season, they was like, nah, bro, we can't let that happen again.
Yeah.
Even if we stumble across a win on this game, we can't have that happen again, bro.
Yeah. And I'm there with that too. I think Tennessee might be the most aggressive team in the quarterback market.
Yeah.
I think they might be the one who takes a swing for the fence if it's anybody. I do. I think they could get off of Tannehill with the cool. I think they could like couple mil, but get a good bag back if they cut him. I would not be shocked if Vrabel was to be like, yo, we got to take a swing on somebody. So because we've been saying it, we don't know how much more Derrick Henry can keep this up.
He's breaking down.
Yeah. We don't know.
Jags taking it. Absolutely. Jags are definitely taking it. I think that was Vita's team that he picked earlier in the season, preseason. He said that'll be the team that goes from worst to first. And they pretty much there. I'll take Tannehill in Washington. You're crazy if you want Tannehill in Washington. You're crazy.
I don't think you want that, bro.
I think Tannehill is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league.
You're really better with taking one of the rookies in the draft, man. I really feel that way.
Yeah.
I really feel that way.
I don't think I don't think Mariota should have even lost his job to Tannehill. Again, I'm biased, but like Mariota got a concussion. Tannehill won the next couple of games, and he just kept the job.
Yep.
He's been extremely underwhelming since then, but
Yeah.
Houston's got a whole lot of potential to build off of next year. I do think they need to strengthen that wide receiver core. Brandon Cooks is the number one guy. Philip Dorsett's starting to step up, but I do think they need to strengthen that wide receiver core.
I'm absolutely sure probably with their second first round pick, they're taking a wide receiver. And told you, John Mechie, if he comes back, and he's all good to go next year, he's like that. He's gonna have a year, bro. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna I'm almost positive that second pick for Houston in the first round, they'll take a wide receiver. So I'm pretty sure of that.
All right.
I like people really like Quentin Johnston, TCU dude.
I hate TCU wide receivers, and it all started with Jalen Reagor.
Yeah,
I don't see Cook staying.
I don't see Cook staying.
I don't, but isn't he locked up over there for a few years?
Nah, I don't think so. I think they tried to get him out this year, and then they, when he went on with like, nah, y'all lied to me about this and that. I think they're gonna get off of him. I just don't think that they got what they wanted for him.
Not
to move
repairable.
him. Yeah, so I think he is gone after this year. I think Lovey would do him a solid.
Cool. Commanders, Niners. This game was a lot better than what the score is saying, in my opinion, when I was watching this game.
Yeah.
All their points pretty much came in the third and fourth quarter, 14 to 16 points in the third and fourth.
I saw it was close for a minute. I was like, dang, what the heck? He said next game.
Hey, but to me, this like looking at this game, watching this game, tells me everything I need to know about Washington next year. You're a quarterback away, man. Quarterback away. That defense is great. Chase Young finally back. Over one of the most dynamic offenses, with one of the best head coach offensive minds in the league in Shanahan. And to be able to, they gave him some problems, man. They gave him some problems. Brock Purdy did what he needed to do to win, but I think Washington is definitely a quarterback away to jump Dallas in the NFC East and be right there with Philly. Quarterback's hard to get. Absolutely.
As long as they stick with Ron and like Anthony Richardson is like a match to me. Ron and Anthony Richardson is a match to me. That's just how. So I think like if any quarterback to any team is a fit, it's Anthony Richardson of Washington. I think that's the best quarterback to coach fit that they could get. So we'll see. Hopefully, Ron still got some time. The Pro Bowl video was dope. Washington and Ron Rivera announcing to the players, Reeves and all of them about the Pro Bowl, man. That's dope. McLaurin is bro, I told you last week, bro had like less than 70 catches and 1,000 yards, man.
He's so cold, bro.
Yeah, he's doing the damn thing, bro. I told you I love Jahan Dotson coming out. Penn State has another receiver coming out who I think is shifty and cold, Parker Washington. They low-key starting to put him out, man. Jahan Dotson is nice. Curtis Samuel is a great third utility piece, man.
The fact that that's your third receiver who could easily be a key number 2 on any team.
Yeah.
He's a Devontae Smith on any other team. He's a Devontae Smith. Easily.
Yeah, and that's what he should be. I do wish I don't know what happened to Diami Brown. I thought bro was gonna get a little bit of more love. Who else, man? Brian Robinson. Again, hopefully there's still a chance, man. I believe there's still a chance for Washington to get in. Still a wild card spot, man.
I think as of right now, all the NFC East teams are in.
Yeah. So
as of right
now, man, Frisco keeps putting it up, making it work with Purdy, man. Definitely giving them I don't know if we want to say a hard job or an easy job to deal with Trey Lance next year. So, but Kittle back-to-back 2 TD games.
Hey, Purdy love Kittle.
Yep.
I know the Eagles don't want none. Man, y'all beat us once.
So let's see how it goes.
One win. It makes sense though. Since y'all got the win over us, I can't really say nothing to y'all. Like y'all the team that beat us, so it's like
think Frisco has a window to the number 2 seed
Hmm.
still, so
Yeah, they're
they'll
11
be
and 4
balling
right
out.
now.
Yeah, they'll be. I think they'll be balling out to the last minute. I know they hot that somebody can't knock off Minnesota to help them out. So
Biggest thing I love about what I see from San Francisco is Christian McCaffrey, 15 carries, 2 targets, 2 receptions. You are balancing that out. Like everything that you said he would be coming into San Francisco, like he gets to kick back into the
yeah,
playoffs.
yeah,
George Kittle getting his touches, man. He went
yeah.
from a
Like
full blocking tight end with Garoppolo to now it's like, hey, y'all forgot just a couple years ago this was right neck to neck with with Kelsey.
yeah, and I know people. I know it was funny because some 49er fans was like, first game Debo was out when they played the Seahawks last week. Was like, oh, we're using McCaffrey too much. Like, nah, y'all just gave him his regular load that he's used to for once, like 20
Mm-hmm.
plus touches and catches. So, that's fine. Y'all not doing it every week, so you're all right. So he's pretty cool from there.
Eagles Cowboys, man. This wasn't as tough to watch as I thought it would be. Right? I thought it was gonna be tough to watch. I knew Minshew was gonna come in, do what he was supposed to do, but I think watching Minshew, watching this Eagles team, the defense is what pissed me off the most. Offense did everything it was supposed to do that I knew it would do. Minshew was gonna turn the ball over. I knew that. Some of those miscues with Miles Sanders fumbling the ball, on a key play that led to them scoring.
Yeah,
Dallas's defense being buns without Jalen Hurts. It was one of those games that made me look at it and say, you know what? We did that to y'all with Gardner Minshew. I'm okay with it. We were
yep,
one play away from winning the game.
yep,
I'm okay with it. I'm
yeah,
it is what it is. This is the L that I almost not expected, but was gonna be okay with, knowing that Jalen wasn't gonna be there.
yeah.
Dallas's defense is so buns.
Yeah, they told you when they have the chance to overcompensate and get turnovers and all this stuff, it just makes them look better than they are. But you put them in a fight. I will give Dak all the credit after the early pick six just to kind of bounce back
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
keep himself going from there. Uncharacteristic Miles Sanders fumble in that moment too. I think this might have been like, I don't know how many games that y'all lost the turnover battle, but I think like Washington was one and maybe this one was one.
Yeah,
Like you said, you don't usually find times this year where y'all have lost the turnover battle. Y'all one of the better teams with that. And the scarier part for Eagles is the injury stacking up.
and Lane Johnson,
That's starting to become the
Vontae
scariest
Maddox
part.
is out.
Everybody's starting to get hurt at this point of the year when you don't want that to happen.
I think
So
Jordan
I would
Davis was in concussion protocols after the first half.
so I'm almost positive. I believe y'all just have to win one to lock up the number one seed.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all will go out and win this week, and then not a damn person will play the last week,
Nah,
and everybody's gonna chill. So that's the worst part of it all is just making sure that this team is going into it healthy. Starting to catch these injuries at this time is not the way that it should be.
yeah, biggest key injury for sure. I know we're getting C.J. Gardner Johnson back this week. He has the ability to return this week. Is Lane Johnson missing Lane Johnson, man? Although I'm happy that when we did lose Lane Johnson I think it was the third quarter, we still didn't let no sacks. Gardner Minshew did not get sacked, not one time. There was a couple of pressures. We still continued to sack Dak Prescott 6 times. Hopefully this week we can come out with a win, man, against New Orleans. We'll get into
Yep.
that. We'll get into that later. Next game, damn near the worst game I have ever seen on evening football. The Raiders and the Steelers. And I ain't even talking about from the Steelers side of things.
Yeah, I didn't even watch. I was like chilling with my family at this point, and we was doing a lot of other stuff. So I was peeking at this game, and every time I looked up, I was like, it was like 10 to something, and Pittsburgh always had the ball to like closer score. I said, yeah, Pittsburgh's gonna eventually win this game. So I was like, what the heck? So yeah, yeah, well, I don't know what the Raiders are gonna do. They keep soiling their opportunity to try to get a spot, bro. Like,
3
I don't know what
interceptions in the third quarter, bro, all within like 5 minutes of each other.
yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. But yeah, that was ugly. I just looked up, I was like, yeah, I'm glad I'm really not trying to pay attention to this game.
Devontae Adams, 9 targets, 2
He said,
catches for
"Hey,
15 yards.
Mike is still in that shit."
Steeler
You got
Nation.
it, Mike. You got it, Mike. You got it, Mike. You got it, Mike. And they pulled it out though. They pulled it out though, and still sick. You know, we had took our L to them, but Mike Tomlin is gonna do everything he can to make sure he don't get that losing record.
He's 7-8 right now, bro. He got the Ravens next week, who
Yeah,
it don't even matter if they win that game. They in the
yeah,
playoffs.
they're in the playoffs.
So he
Yeah,
probably gonna win that game.
yeah. And then after that is just finishing up that last week. Can Mike keep that? Can he keep that streak going, man?
Mike is the
Can he
GOAT
keep
if
that
he
streak
finishes above 500, bro. He's the GOAT.
He said he looking for Paula and said they win 3 games. Paula's out of here. Paula's out of here.
He been ducking. He been ducking.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I told you, man, with the Raiders, it's like you're 1 year into the experiment. You lost so many very, very bad games. Derek Carr's been clearly underwhelming, like bombing this year. But the reason you got Devontae was because of him. So it's like, can you really pull off of that trigger with him and take a QB at the top of the draft? You
Dude,
save you a lot of money, and you could put that in the defense, and you could turn this around pretty quick. So
they save
Jets
what?
fans,
They
Jets
save
fans
$9
want
million if they
Derek
cut
Carr.
him.
No, they'll save like 35. They only take like a 3 cap hit.
$35
I think,
million you saving if
yeah,
you cut that man.
I think they'll save like 25 to 30. It's a pretty big number if they let him go this year.
Go ahead and send him to
Yeah,
the Jets, bro. Send him to the
yeah. The
Jets.
Jets want him. The Jets are like, yo, if we just had a Derek Carr, we be top of the AFC East. I was like, all right.
Hey, and if the Raiders could save that money, they could re-sign Josh Jacobs. I don't think they will, but they could.
No, I don't think they will either. I don't think they will either. But they could definitely invest into a couple pieces on defense, because I
Only
think there's
reason
going to
Adam
be a
won't become
couple
the
players
Raiders.
that's available. So that's
Facts.
the argument you're going to have as a front office is we got Adams because of Carr, but do we really want to let this roll? Because it's just.
What's crazy too is Adams is looking over at the Packers like, bro, if I would have stayed over there, we'd clearly be the #1 team in that division.
Yeah, yeah. But he made his move. He wanted his money. He wanted to be in Cali. And if he was gonna make that move, he was cool with coming with Derek Carr. So bro made his choice. Aaron made his choice. Aaron knew he was leaving, so he took that extension. Aaron made his choice too. So
Bet, let me get this money.
yeah, can't blame a man for making a choice off their bread. Like, the couple players, they got the power to have a handle on that situation for yourself. So hey, y'all did what y'all had to do for yourself.
I like those 3 for the Steelers, man. Fire moved like Deontay and Pickens. Think they're gonna be a problem next year.
Yeah, they will. They will. Yeah,
Adam
they
Crazy for
will.
leaving.
One more year of this offense together. Pickett's gonna take a step, shoring up the O line, and then I think that's just it. Like, just give these guys another year together.
Running game is okay. I still super underwhelmed by Najee. Super underwhelmed.
Yeah, I told you, bro, was gonna have an extreme breakout year this year. He kind of folded on me on that end, but let's invest into the O line. Who would I say? I think all your pieces on defense are still good to go. So it's just one of them years of like, if Kenny can take it, they just come back and run it back next year, man.
Damn, Najee's not even on pace to do more than he did last year. He got 843 right now. He did 1,200 last year.
Yeah.
He might break the touchdowns that he had last year. He has 7. Sitting on 6 right now, but all right, Sunday games. Packers, Dolphins. Man.
Gotta beef up the O-line. Yo,
man.
Cousin Tua got to call it a day, man. Bro done caught another concussion. They out there throwing picks, bro.
Yeah.
Bro got to call it a day, bro. Bro got to call it a day for himself. I don't know what's going on with that.
Let Teddy B play the rest of the year. Y'all make it to the playoffs. Maybe come back, bro.
Oh,
What do
so
y'all
what do we
think
think
of
of
just?
Justin Fields year to this point?
He's a
I think,
dog.
yeah, you already know I'm Fields fan. He was my QB1 for that. I think he did everything to prove that if you invested in his side of the ball, you would see an amazing leap from that team, and he would go into next year, ending next year a top 10 QB. So just invest in him, man, bro. Bro's the truth.
Give
I
Justin
like
Fields
him for how he's
receivers. Get him out of this Lamar Jackson situation that he's in right now, where he ain't got nobody to throw to,
yep,
and he's a
he's fired.
problem.
He's a fire. Yo, so Aaron Jones getting 6 carries in a game is like part of the reason that they be putting themselves here, bro. Like it really is. And it's like man, like
Getting some damn blocking.
it's like LaFleur is just like, oh, 4th and 2. I'm so horny. I could run the ball for 2 tough yards with AJ Dillon, but nah, let me send Christian Watson 30 yards down the field and Aaron Rodgers with the flick of the wrist. Slow down, baby. Like LaFleur, you ain't really got to be on some freak stuff, bro. Just put the ball and get 2 yards with AJ Dillon and then keep your drive going, bro. He's always wanting to do something, man.
Give the ball to your third down
Hey,
back on 4th down. Like, why not? The man
hey,
falls forward for 2.
balls 4 for 2. Like, so my brother did make a point, and it's kind of like the point that people will be on with Tampa Bay is if Aaron and Tom get into the playoffs, anything can happen for them. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna put up a fight with anybody. So I do still want to see Green Bay get in because I just think they just make for good playoff TV, man. Big Bears guy. Oh yeah, told you Justin Fields gonna crush it. I already told you. Hey, I got Justin Fields my dark horse MVP next year. It's my guy. You
See,
already know.
right there
Put
with
$5 on.
Trevor Lawrence, man.
Yep, I'm
Never
putting
know.
$5. Justin Fields next year MVP.
Miami,
Them
yeah,
running the
Tua,
ball
bro. Just call it a day, bro.
was got to call it a day.
Call it a day.
And unfortunately, Miami with the tampering stuff lost a pick, but they got a pick back because of the Bradley Chubb trade. Um, I don't know who could replace Tua. I do think Mike McDaniel's system is extremely quarterback friendly, so I don't think it's difficult if you want to find a guy to plug in and play
Mhm.
in this situation. But they need to find them another guy because Tua going through all this is like, God, dog, bro, you gotta do better than this.
I think they gonna let him sit for the year, sit for the rest of the year, unless they make the playoffs. They make the playoffs, he's coming back to play. But they
Yeah,
gonna re-sign him. It's not gonna be nothing crazy. Not near
yeah,
what
and
he
they could just pick
probably
up his
looking
option.
for.
They could just pick up his option. They don't even have to sign him. They could just pick up the option and have him for 2 more years on the roster and just let that be what it is.
Because I mean, you could look at what you saw before he had his first concussion. It's like, yo, we smacking the whole league. Got your
Yeah,
concussion, came back. You know what I'm saying? You're doing all right, but it don't look like you all there, bro.
yeah, yeah. Running the ball, it's like, and I was watching this game. I halfway fell asleep too. Jalen Waddle, when he gets the ball in his hand, bro, just kites, bro. He just kites, bro. But it's a difference in this team when they can run the ball effectively at a
Mm-hmm.
volume.
Mm-hmm. And it didn't make
It's
no
like
sense either because they was getting chunks. They was getting chunks
that's what
on
I'm saying.
the Packers.
It's like some of these coaches can't help themselves. Is they know they got a quarterback who can short gain a pass, like Justin Herbert's first pick in the Colts game last night. We were like, bro, it's 3rd and 2. Just hand the ball off sometime.
Give it to
Like,
Eckler, man.
yeah, just give it to Eckler, bro. But instead, you constantly keep asking your dude to make this play, and he doesn't have to make it all the time, man. Make your lineman go do it. So, yeah, sometimes they just can't help themselves. They really can't. So, yeah.
Cool.
Dear Lord.
Broncos Rams. Do we even want to talk about that one?
Yeah, man, firing Nathaniel Hackett. Great thing for y'all. You realized it wasn't working. Get out the game early. Don't let it linger. Don't let it hope. The red flags was there, and you listened to him eventually. Russ just said Russ more than picks, bro just looks out of it. I knew I was like, I wasn't trying to talk bad on Russ, like bro wasn't good, but god dog, man, this year's shown everything but that.
You're making it hard for us
Like,
to fight for you,
yeah,
dog.
like I said, you was a good quarterback, not a great one, but this one is hurtful for what he did this year, man.
We
And so I
looking away from everything you did. We
yeah,
looking at everything you're doing, and it's not good.
and I'm standing by the fact that they need to find themselves a head coach whose personality and leadership can overdo Russ because they went up there to make Russ the guy and it backfired on them. So find somebody else and tell Russ, sit down, shut up, just give your answers and go about your business. Because the more you make it about yourself, the more the team starts to suffer. So
Two
get over
coaches
that.
that you would have for this team next year.
You said what?
Two coaches that you would take for this team next year for the Broncos.
Raheem Mostert, D'Amico Ryans is my top two candidates across the board, period. Rams defensive coordinator and 49ers defensive coordinator, and Brian Flores. Those are the three guys who I think should be top of the board for everybody, period.
Cool.
So I think they need guys who can command the locker room and control men and put people in their place. And that's who Russ needs to have
Tell
around
dudes
him.
to shut the hell up and don't always walk out
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Broncos country, let's ride. You just lost 51-14. What is you telling country to ride for?
yeah. Raheem Mostert, when Mike Tomlin goes on the Pivot podcast and said that he's the best coach he's ever coached with, I'm gonna take that sound off and be cool. So Mostert, D'Amico Ryans, and Brian Flores is my top three for the year.
Cool. Right, that's enough of this
You do
trash.
not want Sean Payton. You do not want Kevin O'Connell, and you do not want goddamn bro that's OC right now for Alabama that used to coach for the Texans, Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien. Buttons.
Yeah,
Tampa Bay versus the Cardinals. Got into overtime. Came out with a win on the field goal. But man, do the Bucks look like buns? Not even just on offense, on defense, and across the board.
I don't know how they could get away with teams keep leaving them a window towards the end of the game to win, but they keep doing it. I fell asleep on this game. I woke up to your text message, and then I looked at the score, and I was like, "Oh dang, they did pull it off in overtime." So yeah, I want to see how excited for our matchup with them this weekend. Because I would love just to get Tom up out of here on our own accord. Cliff in Arizona is gonna have to have a meeting with themselves. Cliff can't help himself. All I keep hearing is how James Conner was cooking, and he kept finding a way not to give him the ball.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
James
So again,
Conner was getting chunks. At one point in the game, he was averaging like 7 yards a carry.
He's just these new coaches are just so mad and me so horny that they just always got to find a way to throw the ball. It's like, bro, the run is working. It's wearing the defense
He kept
down.
doing these damn jet sweeps to fucking Greg Dortch, and I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So,
they don't have Vita Vea in the middle. Why ain't you running the ball?
Exactly. So these guys are just so horny sometimes, bro, that they just can't help themselves. So Cliff is going to have a meeting with himself and be like, what am I doing for myself and to go right? Because bro just got an extension. And the NFL already said, y'all better quit firing coaches. Y'all wasting money on coaches. But it don't come out their pocket anyway. It comes out the owners.
He getting fired.
I don't know what James Conner's contract looks like, but I do not think he'll be back in Arizona next year.
I hope not. I think James Conner needs to go somewhere else.
I think somebody's going to come get him if he isn't gone himself. So we'll see from that. On the defensive side for the Bucks, man, said this team just looks like a shell of themselves, but it's almost like this is how they were the Super Bowl year too, though. Like you were just trying to wait for them to have this explosion of dominance, and it just didn't happen until the moment that it mattered the most.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're limping there the same type of way, and they're just trying to limp their way in. And again, sneaking this one out and sneaking the Saints victory out was just like too game saving for them, man. And we'll see what happens coming this week.
All right.
So
last game of the week, Chargers Colts. They put in
I thought
Nick
Foles, after he threw all them picks so early, I was like, bro's gonna lead a comeback TD after all of this, bro. I was positive bro was gonna lead a comeback touchdown after all of this. And nah. They really didn't. Games like this, I'm glad that they ran the ball 30 plus times. Like I said, they should put a little more emphasis onto that. I do not agree with the Derwin James ejection.
Nah.
Thought it was clean. Thought bro shouldn't have got ejected. The Colts. What is their game plan going into the offseason? I
Till
like
Saturday getting
Wiley.
fired.
Yeah, I like Wiley Cox. I like Jelani Woods. I like Michael Pittman. Alec Pearson. Alec Pearson's nice. Jonathan Taylor with them injuries, man. You just hoping that he comes back healthy and is himself, and that's going to help out. But they have an important decision to make this offseason and what they're going to do with coach and quarterback. Like they have the most important decision because they're going to reset all of that this offseason. So I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I think Jim Irsay is going to be extremely aggressive
Mm-hmm.
in what he's going to try to do. Because remember, it's the Texans with the #1 pick in the South. We talked about the Titans, and now it's the Colts.
Yeah, right
Like
now they're sitting at number 4, number
and they're
3, number
looking
4.
at the Jags, who's on the come up, and they're like, do we want to be left behind for the next 5, 6, 7 years, or do we want to find a way to hurry up and close the gap? So they were like, we about to have to deal with Trevor for 10 years.
Yep.
So we'll see what they do and who they decide to make their head coach.
I don't think Jeff Saturday is that dude to take him into the next generation, man. He's just not.
I think Jeff Saturday is a good head coach, but I do think they would have to go get a OC that can handle the play calling while he focuses. I think he can do the connecting
He's
with
the
the guys.
motivational guy.
Yeah, the motivational guy, because he knows that stuff. I think players respond to him in that. But again, he has to find somebody who knows how to take care of the quarterback. So I will be very mindful of who their quarterback coach is next year and who their offensive coordinator is going to be. Because his offensive coordinator was some dude who never called plays before.
Better go see if you can get Byron Leftwich.
Hey man, send my man Joe Brady to the Colts, man. Give Joe Brady a shot of an OC and let him call plays. He's been sitting under Buffalo for a year now. Joe Brady in the bag, man.
Chargers clinch playoff spot, right? They're in the wild card.
Yep, Chargers clinch a playoff spot. Fought through all them injuries. So we'll get to see Herbert on the road. Ain't no way he can win the division, so he'll be on the road during the playoffs. See if he can steal one.
That's one of the most impressive things for them to clinch the playoffs to me. You went 5 games without Keenan Allen, 2 or 3 games without Mike Williams, and it was just you, Gerald Everett, and Austin Eckler.
Yep. And they had some games that they just soiled too. So it's again, I'm not doubting Staley and his ability to go for it at Herbert. So I'm excited that they did get in. So
all right, man. Week 17. Let's run through it. Let's make the picks.
Drop y'all picks with us. Y'all drop y'all picks with us, man. Let's get it, dude.
Make the picks. Give me your keys for each pick, and we'll see if we can run through this pretty quick. Thursday game, we got the Cowboys visiting the Titans on the road. I think Malik Willis is the quarterback, so this might be a 62 to 7-point game with the Cowboys.
I don't think so.
No,
Vrabel's pissed. He ain't going out like that. Vrabel's pissed. He ain't going out like that. He's gonna figure something out. In Dallas, you could tell over the last couple of weeks, Dallas was trying to focus all their energy into Philly, to where this is a game that they'll come out sleeping.
Trap game.
Yeah. The interior for the Titans is nice, Simmons and all of them. So we'll see how they look against this. I still think Dallas is overall better at this moment, at this point. And I think Dallas could get out of here with a touchdown win. So I got the Cowboys, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout at all because I think Vrabel's going to have something for McCarthy and Kellen Moore.
Ooh. Cardinals Falcons. This is the most irrelevant game of the week, probably.
Yeah. Dear God.
I'm gonna go with the Falcons because I feel like they have more healthy pieces and they're at home.
I'm gonna go with the Falcons too on this one. I'm gonna go with the Falcons too.
Cool. Bears Lions. They're gonna be on the road against the Lions. Bears are 3-12
Bears,
right now.
man. Justin Fields getting revenge. This is the Justin Fields revenge game, man. They soiled the first matchup against the Lions on some stuff, man. I got Justin Fields getting a revenge on the Bears, man.
I'm gonna go with the Lions. I think the Lions continue to make a fight. I think they finish off 500, and they start right here. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is gonna go for 10 for 150 for the sake of my fantasy championship. Please and thank you. Okay. Broncos Chiefs. Ooh, Chiefs are at home.
Chiefs. I got the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are gonna play hard because they still want to make sure Pat Mahomes ain't lose to the Broncos, and they can't give a window in case they do slip up and lose seeding. So, KC.
Yep. I agree. I think we see Travis Kelce definitely go for 100 catches. He only needs 3 to hit 100. And I think he goes for like a buck 20 to go for that 1,400 yards on the season.
Yep.
Dolphins, Patriots. Dolphins are on the road against the Patriots. And I think right now, Teddy Bridgewater is preparing first reps, but I don't think they're committing to him. Mike McDaniels is not committing to Teddy Bridgewater yet.
I'm going to still go with Miami. Weapons on the outside. I think McDaniels is going to cook up enough. I think Pats is tapped out. Mr. You're not my dad's. Somebody's going to clean him this game.
Cool. I'm going to go with the Dolphins as well. Colts, Giants. Colts are on the road against the Giants. Giants win this, and I think they put themselves closer to securing that wild card spot.
Get the Giants this week, man. Big ball, day ball, baby. Big ball, day ball.
Go with the Giants as well. Saints, Eagles. They're at
the Eagles.
Lincoln Field.
Yeah. Got the Eagles clinching it this week. Saints soiling it.
And then dropping their pick even further down for the Eagles to take. Panthers on the road against the Bucks. I'm gonna go to Panthers because that
Carolina
Bucks,
2-2, man.
Carolina 2-2. Is Horn out?
So right now we still don't know. I'm gonna be real with you. The fact that they haven't said nothing yet, I don't think they're gonna say anything until they have to on like Sunday. Everybody's been waiting. I know for a fact that they said he went and got surgery this morning. So either way,
hand?
Yeah, broke his wrist, hit it up against Jeremy Chin's helmet during the play. So I think realistically they want to sit him. They do not want to play him. I really believe they don't want to play him. I think they feel confident enough to where they can just try to eke this out and get in. I don't want to play without him because if the Bucks win, they clinch the South and they're in.
Yeah.
So this is a win and in game for the Bucks. So I don't want to leave that up to chance, but
this is
I don't
for
think
y'all to
they're
stay
going to
alive.
Yeah. But I definitely got us. When we first started this whole identity deal, it was against the Bucks. Ran for 175 on them. I don't think Vita Veda is going to play, so it gives me more confidence to run up because he was there the first game, so it's going to give me more confidence about running the football. I think the guys are really bought in. So, Sam Darnold, man, can he get another game without a turnover? I fear with this secondary something could leak. I fear with this secondary that something could leak and the game could happen because I'm like having PTSD about this dude. But yeah, I definitely got us this week.
Bucks, I think, last are in turnovers in the league.
Yeah.
Towards the bottom of the league in turnovers. I just think Deontay Foreman has a field day, man. I think I got him going for a buck 20.
Yeah. I think he had that last time against him, man. So I think the Steelers' loss might have been the best thing that could have happened for the guys at this point. That's why I was glad we got the Seahawks game because I really felt we wasn't going to get the Steelers. I felt like that had to be a lesson. So I do got us. But again, man, if Horn's out, Keith Taylor got abused against the Steelers. So I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know how that's gonna work out.
Commanders versus the Browns. Commanders are at home.
Got Commanders this week. Commanders keeping the play alive, keep the playoff hopes alive. Riverboat Run. Browns are underwhelming.
Me too.
They're just getting reps.
I think the Commanders' defense wins this game for them. Jags on the road against the Texans.
T-Law and Dougie P, man. Step brothers. Did we just become best friends?
Yep. T-Law going for 404 touchdowns. Please and thank you.
T-Law. Big game from T-Law.
Niners on the road against the Raiders.
49ers. 49ers on this one.
Same right there with you. Jets on the road against the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks still have a chance to make the playoffs. They need some help.
They do. Mike White's been cleared and is projected to start. But I'm going to still go with Seattle this week.
Cool. Right there with you. Vikings, Packers. Vikings are on the road against the Packers. Packers pretty much control their destiny to reach the playoffs and the wild card spot. Win, and they are in.
I got Green Bay. Green Bay this week.
Right there with you. I don't think we different on too many picks right now, except for the Bears and the Lions. Rams on the road against the Chargers. Chargers have zero incentive to win this game.
I still got the Chargers winning. Still got the Chargers winning.
At home, yep. Still a hurt defense over there on the Rams.
Yeah.
I think they win this. Ravens, Steelers. Ravens are at home.
Steelers, man. Get the Steelers this week.
I'm gonna say the same, especially because I don't think Lamar is playing like you were saying. I think he's out into the playoffs, and then they're gonna figure out what they got with him in the playoffs. Monday night game is gonna be the game of the week so far. Probably the best game of the week. Bills versus the Bengals. Pretty much for the number one spot.
I got the Bengals on this one.
Ooh.
Yeah. Home team.
Ooh.
I'm gonna take the Bengals. I'm gonna trust the home field advantage. Trey Hendricks, Logan Wilson, Jesse Bates. They got a feeling they'll match up well for what they try to do on the other side of the ball. So
I'm
yeah,
gonna go with the Bills. I think this is the resurgence game that Josh Allen needs. And I think the Bengals are gonna force him to throw the ball by getting up early. I think they'll get up early and it's gonna force Josh Allen to throw the ball. Hopefully this is the game that forces him to step up, be the MVP candidate we talked about earlier in the season.
Yep.
Cool. That's it pretty much for the NFL, man. Any final thoughts about the NFL?
Honestly, really, real excited to see how the coaching carousel goes this offseason.
You think Byron Leftwich finds himself a job? I know I've been saying his name a whole lot over the last few weeks.
I do think he could find himself a job. I think if the Bucks don't make it, that whole staff and almost that whole roster might be gone.
Yeah.
I think everybody's gonna start to peace out. So I do think Byron can find himself a job.
Cool. That's pretty much all I got for the NFL too, man. I think I said everything I needed to say. The extras. Any NBA thoughts? Any UFC thoughts? Any just things that are outside of what we've already talked about? I know we're heavy NFL folks, and we will be for the next 4 weeks till the playoffs are done. Then we'll go
not really, man. Not too much extra right now. Really starting to trying to dig down more into numbers about who do I actually think is going to make it out of the West this year. Like that's what I'm really trying to figure out. I do got Boston out, but actually I don't. I got the Nets coming out the East this year.
They look nasty.
Yeah.
TJ Warren is a clear number 3 now. Now that he's healthy.
Yeah, I got the Nets coming out the East because I felt with the Nets coming into this year like I felt with the Warriors last year. They'll get healthy at the right time. At the right time, Ben will get acclimated. They got off Steve Nash. Everybody looks like they're starting to find a committed role in attacking that. And we just know that he's easy money sniper for a reason. And in the playoffs, you don't get too many chances to knock him off. Kyrie playing the whole year now, pretty much. They should be better suited for the playoffs with the guys fitting around them. So I do have the Nets, I think, on their best day could take out all of these teams. So that's who I have coming out the East right now. With actually Boston right behind. But that second round of the Eastern Conference Finals is going to be crazy. I mean, the second round of the playoffs, the entire West is going to be wild.
Yeah.
The entire West is going to be wild. So I also saw Trae Young reports him and McMillan not getting along. All this
His teammates hate him.
Yeah, his teammates hate him, and everything's just coming out about Trae Young's just not this cool dude.
That's crazy.
And people are talking about trading him, which is cool. But it was very odd that Vegas's most likely place for him to land was Dallas. I was like, why is Dallas the favorite place to put Trae?
I don't like that.
I didn't understand it at all. And I don't really know who would want to trade for Trae. I don't know who would want to trade for Trae.
I don't think he changes anybody. Like he doesn't change anyone's roster.
Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see how, if the Hawks don't make some type of push, what Trae does. Because then I think if Trae asks for a trade And again, it could be rumors, all this, but if he does, I think that's kind of crazy that they just traded for DeJounte to come help you, and then you're like, I'm out of this mug. So
Damn.
we'll see how that goes. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Even though
Honestly, man, looking at the Nuggets, they are just a scary, versatile team. Like they give me shades of the Warriors, bro. Like,
yeah, the Nuggets was my preseason pick to make it out the West with the Clippers.
yeah, like Bruce Brown off the bench, MPJ finally starting to get healthy, and the way that Jokic can control the game is so scary. Like he's controlling the game in a way where it's like,
People
hey, bro,
forget
first
he's a
half,
second round pick.
yeah, like first half, I'm gonna take 5 shots, bro. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Murray go in and throw it 15, MPJ go up throw it 10, Aaron Gordon take 5 3-pointers, and then the second half come out 35, 15, and 12.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
effortless.
yeah. Yoke is crazy, bro. Yoke is crazy.
And then I think the Grizzlies are starting to round out their team, but the one team I'm still waiting for to be fully healthy is the Pelicans.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for Bi to come back. He's been out almost a month and a half, maybe 2 months with a toe. Bi can come back. They was on that run without Bi. He
yeah,
can come back and round out that team. Pelicans gonna be scary. I don't think they make it too
really,
far, but
they really could. They really could. So
cool.
I'm excited to start to get more into that.
Final thoughts?
Nope, that's all for me.
Cool. We'll see y'all next week. Same time, same day. Y'all know the vibes. We're getting into week 17,
Okay.
18 next week. And yeah. Catch y'all later. Have a good night.
Yep. Yeah.